Welcome to your Arkansas Oklahoma State preview presented by Prize Picks. The Razorbacks got in the win column, but it was not against the best of opponents. Now they're headed to Stillwater, where Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State await. Sam Pittman is trying to coach his way off the hot seat, Ari. I think they have a chance to do that, but I think this game probably will tell us a lot of what we need to know, because if Arkansas can go to Stillwater and beat Oklahoma State, it can win games in the SEC for sure.
For sure.
But then, of course, you're playing against a team that is one of the oldest in college football, one of the most experienced in college football, and Mike Gundy, a coach that's pretty much seen everything. He's doing his coach's show at senior citizens' homes now. He's quoting Shaggy, "It wasn't me," in press conferences. He's living his best life. So that's the question. Can Sam Pittman, on the off the hot seat tour, the Embrace the Hog off the hot seat tour, can he go to Stillwater and beat Mike Gundy and get one step closer to staying Arkansas's coach?
You also didn't mention the fact that Mike Gundy has a perm now, and I think it looks tremendous. That guy's got swag like nobody else does. In this sport.
So hard to pull off, and he pulls it off.
I think it looks great. And from an elite hair person, I know how to recognize game. It is kind of crazy to me, Andy, that we went through the entire first weekend of shows together and didn't even say the name Taylon Green. But I'm wondering if, because it's so bizarre that Arkansas doesn't have KJ Jefferson as his quarterback anymore. It felt like he was there since I was in college. He looked really special. Again, I know we have to quantify every single comment that we make about somebody
Arkansas Pine Bluff, yes,
playing whoever they played in the first week of the season. But he is a pretty dynamic athlete and somebody who I think problem solves pretty well back there. He could be something that somebody who unlocks something in Arkansas that does save his job.
And we saw that at the end of the season with Taylon Green at Boise State last year. We saw that he could be dynamic. And also remember Bobby Petrino calling the plays at Arkansas. Bobby Petrino, for all his faults and the reason he got fired at Arkansas and all that stuff, has always been a really good play caller. And I don't count anything that happened at Texas A&M last year against him, because obviously Jimbo Fisher was not completely seeding the game planning / play calling. So, Taylon Green, he's going to have a big game, because obviously he's dealing with Ollie Gordon on the other side of the ball. And Oklahoma State is going to try to establish Ollie Gordon. Let's talk a little Prize Picks here. If you don't know what Prize Picks is, it is the best daily fantasy game in America. And the way it works is you pick squares. If you're using team sports, you're picking players, and there'll be a stat attached to the player, and you decide, are they going to do more than this or less than this? So for Ollie Gordon, for example, you could do 126.5 rush yards, more or less, or you could do 151.5 rushing plus receiving yards, which I like the rushing plus receiving yards, because it gives you a little more flexibility there. With a player like Ollie Gordon, they're going to try to feed him any way they can. So that's one way to look at it. But if you use the code STAPLES when you download that Prize Picks app and you play $5, you get $50 instantly. Even if you don't win, you get the $50 instantly. And the way it works is you pick at least 2 squares. You can pick more. The more you pick, the higher the potential payout. So in this game, like I said, you're probably looking at Ollie Gordon, or maybe you're looking at Alan Bowman with 265.5 pass yards, or more or less than 0.5 interceptions, because I think that's a big one right there. Does Alan Bowman turn the ball over? Can Arkansas get some short fields? Because the one thing Oklahoma State can do to you, Ari, is just pound you with Ollie Gordon and control the game, control the clock, and get you completely out of rhythm offensively.
Yeah, I mean, they have the number right where I think I would put it for Ollie Gordon, 126.5. Last week, he rushed for literally 126 yards in their win, 44-20 win last week. So I do believe that as Oklahoma State goes is going to be based on where Ollie Gordon goes. And if he isn't going to get to that number, then I don't think that Oklahoma State's probably the play, because he's just so dynamic of a player. And I think that's really, Alan Bowman, I know, has a lot of experience, has been there for a while, and could make some plays on his own, but Ollie Gordon is the entire ticket there.
Well, and we had Travis Williams on the show, the Arkansas defensive coordinator. He's a guy who loves to blitz. So they're going to try to get Alan Bowman on the ground. They're going to try to get him to make mistakes, to throw picks, which, look, if Arkansas can get some short fields, that's where they can have a chance to pull off the upset here. And so one of the squares that I thought was interesting is Taylon Green, 0.5 rushing or receiving TDs. And that's a demon square. So if you're doing prize picks, you have your goblin squares, which are a little bit easier to get. Your demon squares are considered a little bit more difficult. So the potential payout is higher. I used a demon square last week with Nick Singleton from Penn State, because my thinking on this was he's the bigger of the two backs that Penn State has. If you get down near the goal line, he's probably the person getting the ball on 1st and goal from the two. Now, as it turned out, Keytron Allen actually scored before he did, and Singleton's score was from way out. But I got that touchdown, and I won
a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, but I won that square. Well, but Taylon Green is a dual threat quarterback, and so I like the idea of a dual threat quarterback in this situation, because if you get near the goal line, there's a really good chance he's running it in. So
yeah, plus the fact that it's a demon square plus. Yeah, at 0.5 there. I mean, he rushed for 88 yards last week. This is a guy who's going to be carrying the football, and certainly somebody that they're going to call upon around the goal line. And I also think too that if you're familiar with this kid's game, like, he's somebody who can score outside of the red zone too with his feet.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a fun matchup. Again, can Arkansas's defense slow down Ollie Gordon, or will Oklahoma State just pound and pound and pound with Ollie Gordon? That's probably how it gets decided, because if Oklahoma State just controls the clock, controls the tempo, they're going to win. If Arkansas can get them into some bad down and distance, force them to throw, heat up Alan Bowman, maybe force some turnovers, then they've got a chance. And if they can win this game, like I said, then the odds of Sam Pittman being able to win his way into keeping this job, I'd say are not bad, because Oklahoma State is just as good as a lot of the teams Arkansas is going to see in SEC play. And Boone Pickens Stadium is as tough of an environment as you're going to go play it on the road. Like, those people are right on top of you. They got those paddles. Like, it's a tough place to play. So you can go here and win. You have a chance. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State, their rival just left for the SEC. They probably wouldn't mind punking an SEC team right now. So highly motivated on both sides of this game. Cannot wait to see it. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.